Hello and a very warm welcome to this special. We're asking the question, the team that has been announced for the Asia Cup, is that the best T20 squad? Because now we're looking ahead to the T20 World Cup. Remember, after the Asia Cup, there are just two series at home that India play against South Africa and Australia. So from here on, everything is a dress rehearsal for the T20 World Cup. But even as the squad is announced, there are some important questions that one needs answer to. We'll get you the squad. We'll also talk about some of those questions, and we'll ask those questions to Ashok Malhotra, former Indian cricketer, former selector, who joins me here, sir. Let's first take a look at the squad, and let's get talking about if this is the best squad, if we've got the combination right. So let's take a look at the squad itself. Rohit Sharma, he's the captain of the side. Rahul has finally returned. Thankfully, no injury. He's out of everything that he's gone through over the last couple of months. He is the vice captain of the squad. There is Virat Kohli, who's come back after resting in the West Indies ODI and T20 series. He's also not playing the Zimbabwe series. Suryakumar Yadav, of course, has been active, has been showing what T20 cricket batting is all about. There is Deepak Hooda, who's also been scoring runs at every opportunity he's getting. Rishabh Pant, the wicket keeper, but Rishabh Pant, the T20 batsman. Can he be fitted in? And of course, the team is trying very hard, the team management, to fit him in. They've tried to open with him, but now he's at number 4. But has he done enough? Dinesh, Karthik, the super specialist role of a finisher these days. Dinesh Karthik fitting into that role very well. Hardik, Pandya in the form of his life, with the ball, with the bat. Ravindra Jadeja with the bat, exceptional. Ravi and Ashwin, Yuzvendra Chahal, your top pick of the spinners. And then there is Ravi, Bishnoi, their backup spinner. Bhuvneshwar, Kumar, Arshdeep Singh, who has earned the points in the recent series, having bowled well, not just in the power play, but in the death overs that he is so popular for. And then there is Avesh Khan. So that is the squad. Let's get straight into it. Ashok sir, you look at this squad and you get the feeling that you've got more or less 9 of your players from here. I mean, I think the options, the questions will be about the openers. I don't think there is a question around number 3 as much as we want them to be asking that question. There is a question around the third seamer spot, and there is a question around Rishabh Pant versus Dinesh Karthik. That's my sense of it. But let's get straight into what the selectors are thinking as well, what Rohit Sharma and Rahul Dravid are thinking. Rohit Sharma, the opener, who do you think will open with him? They've tried Ishan Kishan in the first half after the World Cup. Ishan Kishan was the one they kept trying as their backup opener. Now with Rahul, he hasn't got any match practice. He's coming back. It's important how he does in this Asia Cup. But who do you see opening with Rohit Sharma?
See, as of now, I think it is going to be Kerala because the way things are panned out. I don't know unless they pull a rabbit out of a hat. I would not know. They might have a Suryakumar Yadav or Rishabh Pant. God knows what goes into their minds, in management's mind, because it defies cricketing logic. Because for me, the problem is Rahul has not played cricket for a while, and Virat Kohli seems to be out of form. So that is going to be a really question mark on these two. Can they turn things around? Or they're going to be the weak link? Because you cannot keep out somebody like Suryakumar Yadav, who's firing on all cylinders. If you have decided to open with him and against West Indies or Rishabh, why don't you continue with them? Let Virat play 3, maybe Rahul at 4, and then so for and because I don't want Rohit Sharma under pressure, because Rahul takes his time to set the ball rolling. Same with Virat Kohli. It will put Rohit Sharma under pressure, because he is now playing very freely, knowing at the other end it is Suryakumar Yadav who set the ball rolling. And the mantra of this management is, go for it, go flat out at it, and go hard at all 20 overs. So I don't know what is plan B in case top 2-3 wickets fall. Do they have somebody who can hold 4 in the middle order? So that is, for me, is a very a big question. Is Virat going to be that person? I would not know, because the form is very, very up till now. So the fact is, I know they have got all bases covered. As a selector, even probably I would have gone for the same time. But I would have, for me, one Dinesh Karthik, who has not done well for last 17 years. All of a sudden, he's become Messiah of 2020. Is he going to win matches in last 4-5 overs? You know, batting in last 4-5 overs, Meha, is not easy. You know, it's a very difficult task. Why would I go backwards? Then you could have gone for Mahendra Singh Dhoni, who's the best finisher in the world cricket. He's younger than Dinesh Karthik. You know, so I would have preferred maybe somebody like Sanju Samson, you know, who's young, who can hit the ball if you set a road for it. So I would have preferred him ahead of Dinesh Karthik. You know, it is, you know, food for thought. I know everybody is going gaga over Dinesh Karthik. I hope people are correct. He delivers what everybody expecting him to. But the guy who has not delivered in 17 years, he scored 150. So I don't know how many more runs he's got with his bat here.
So my sense of this is the way they are seeing Dinesh Karthik, they are seeing him in a role of a super specialist who will come in the last 4 overs and will strike at 200 plus and will finish the game off for you. More often than not, it's not going to work, but when it does, you end up winning. I think where this comes from is how he's played 5 to 6 high impact knocks for Royal Challengers Bangalore. But where I agree with you is that Dinesh Karthik, especially after having been taken into the team because of his IPL performance this year, hasn't been able to replicate the same performance in international cricket. Given that, and who does he come in place of? Because if you are going to get KL Rahul in, who's been prolific in this format over the last couple of years, who sits out? Are you going to get Rishabh Pant to sit out? I also feel that the team management is absolutely hell-bent on keeping Rishabh Pant in, given what Rishabh Pant can do when he gets going. We've seen he's your best test player in the last 2 years. He's been your best ODI player. So I get why they are trying to put Rishabh Pant in and they are trying him at the top at number 4. But that's my thing. It'll come down to Rishabh Pant versus Dinesh Karthik. Because if you want KL Rahul to be in the squad. So yeah, what do you think of that?
See, Rishabh Pant is a certainty. We can't even think of dropping Rishabh Pant. Now they have to decide, will they open with Rishabh Pant? In 2020 cricket, he's a better option as a bowler than in middle order, where he's been found wanting. You know, because they bowl wide outside the off stump, they probably can't clear, and he goes for almost everything and loses his wicket. I think opening the innings with Rishabh Pant might be a bad idea, because then you can have Virat in the middle, KL Rahul in the middle, and then you got big strikers in Suryakumar, Yadav, and Ravindra Jadeja and Hardik Pandya, the guy. And that is why I'm saying when you got Hardik Pandya, you got Suryakumar Yadav, you got Rishabh Pant, and even Jadeja. Why would I need the DK in the team? I would never understand. You know, for me, I'm a former selector. As a selector, I would never go backwards. You know, then I can go to Patel, I can go to Sunil Gavaskar, I can go to Mahendra Singh Dhoni, even Sachin Tendulkar. You know, why would I go backwards? You know, that you are a new age team. In new age team, you've got somebody like Dinesh Karthik, because he played some good knock for Royal Challengers Bangalore. As you very rightly said, he has not been able to have that same form at international level, which he has not been able to do in last 17 years. So you don't expect somebody who has not achieved anything in 17 years to turn things around. He doesn't have कहते ना अल्लाह दिन का चिराग नहीं आ गया उसके पास कि all of a sudden he is going to perform out of his skin. So that is where and another question mark for me is Ashwin. How are you going to fit in? Which number are you going to fit him in? Or whose place are you going to fit him? If Jadeja is a set, Jajwendra Chahal is a set.
I think Ashwin is your backup spinner. He's your backup.
Then what about Ravi Bishnoi?
He's also your backup spinner. I don't think they're not going to have, I mean, with Bumrah, with Bhuvneshwar, with Chahal, you get another, if you add Ravi Bishnoi or the others, the tail's going to be really long. On top of that, I think they will go with Jadeja. And Deepak Hooda, that's where Deepak Hooda comes in, sir. Deepak Hooda at number 3, and your problem of another spin options also solved.
Meha, that is right. This is problem of playing.
Yeah.
You have Deepak Hooda at 3. Where do you put then Virat Kohli?
Yeah.
You know, where do you put Virat Kohli? If
Yeah.
Rahul opens, and if he doesn't open, if you open with either Suryakumar, Yadav or Rishabh Pant, where does it leave Virat Kohli, KL Rahul, Deepak Hooda, and then Hardik Pandya, Suryakumar, Yadav? So 5 of them.
Yeah.
You know, so why would I need, there are 7 batters, why would I need an 8th batter in Dinesh? Why would I need, I don't understand the logic behind it.
Yeah.
You can play an extra spinner or, you know, maybe a Ravi Bishnoi or maybe even a, because if he's going to bat 2-3 overs, then you better off playing a bowler who can bat. So that is my thinking. You know, when you got so many batters, you got KL Rahul, you got Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, Suryakumar Yadav, Deepak Hooda, Hardik Pandya, Ravindra Jadeja.
Yeah.
So look at the number of batters. It is only a 20-over game.
Yeah.
I don't think all of them are going to get the batting anyway. So DK will get maybe a couple of overs.
Yeah.
Just 2 overs. Just 2 overs. You can't take a place of a bowler. You know, you either have an all-rounder in this place. You know, somebody like Ashwin. Yes, that might be a good thinking. Having Ashwin playing with 3 spinners, especially when you're playing in UAE.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about then, so we've talked about Rishabh Pant, Suryakumar Yadav, Virat Kohli versus Deepak Hooda. Though I remember you saying that on current form, you don't see Virat Kohli going for the T20 World Cup. But Asia Cup is one tournament where now he's going to get the opportunity. Hopefully, he can get runs. Hopefully, you know, we can see some big score from Virat Kohli. Because I know that he'd still be going for the World Cup, but I just feel your top 3, if you have KL Rahul there as well, they do not inspire confidence. I mean, Rohit Sharma, of course, does in recent times, but overall, top 3, your top 3 are supposed to be these absolutely brilliant.
Meha, the top 3 when you're talking about, Rohit then has scored a 50 in T20 in recent times.
Yeah.
He's playing a cameo.
I agree.
He's not playing a big knock. You know, Rohit is playing a cameo. KL Rahul, you don't know what he's going to do. Virat Kohli, we don't know. If these are your 1, 2, 3, then it puts pressure on the rest of the bats.
Correct.
Then if they play 10 overs, supposing say 60 for 3 or 55 for 3, then it puts pressure on the Hardik Pandya, Suryakumar Yadav, Rishabh Pant, and maybe Deepak Hooda if he's playing. You know, so it puts a lot of pressure to them. Because top 3, first 6 overs are very vital. 6 overs, you have to get 50 plus, close to 50, if you want to put some pressure on the opposition. Because in 10 overs, you should be close to 70, and then last 10 overs, you can get maybe 100. So 180 is the par total in modern days T20 cricket. So I think that is where the question mark is, where Virat is going to fit in. And if the top 2 bat 6, 7, 8 overs, then will you send Virat at 3? Or you send Rishabh at 3, Suryakumar Yadav at 3, Hardik Pandya at 3, or Deepak Hooda at 3. And then you will have Virat have his pads on and batting at number 7. Will it suit as the legend of a legendary batter? I really don't know. So there's a problem of plenty. I wouldn't like to be in place of Rahul Dravid or Rohit Sharma.
But one thing is for sure that I think they are very clear on this attacking template. And even for Rohit Sharma, in his defense, the only thing I'm saying, and I know you're right in saying that when was the last time you saw him score a 50? The thing is that the strike rate at which he's scoring those runs, and I think that today with the kind of format that they are playing, Ashok sir, all they want to do is the strike rate, score quick runs, at the price of their wickets. That's the sense that one gets, because they could be 3 down in the power plays, but the next batter who comes in will still go all out attacking from the first ball.
See, this is the mantra of an English team. You know, this is how they play. You know, it is a double-edged sword. Meha, because if going is good, you might get 180, 200, 220, 250. But if the going gets bad, then you might tend to strike. So then you need a batsman who can consolidate. So you will have to pinpoint, give a role to somebody who can consolidate. You need a partnership. The top 2, 3 fall quickly.
Correct.
Then there's something is missing. If you don't have somebody who can hold the middle order, consolidate, and put some runs on the board, and then your bowlers come into play. But if you keep going at the pace which Rohit is saying, this is how we're going to play our cricket.
Yeah.
You know, so that is a double-edged thing.
Yeah.
It might come good. Hopefully it will come good. But 70% or 80% if it comes good, great. But 20% if it doesn't come good, then what?
Yeah, because that's what we saw even against the West Indies. They got all out for 138. You know, at one point kept losing wickets and weren't able to get to a good enough score. But let's also talk about Arshdeep Singh and his importance in this squad, what he's done in the opportunities that he's got. Limited opportunities in England, but against West Indies as well. I feel like Arshdeep Singh now has made it so important for the selectors, for Rahul and Rohit Sharma to look at him for the World Cup squad as your left-arm pacer, but just what he brings to the table in the death overs. He's been exceptional.
Absolutely, Meha. Everybody has been talking about that, except for the manager.
Yeah.
And except for they were hell-bent on Patel. They were hell-bent on Avesh. Because Arshdeep is the best bowler we have in T20 cricket, at least in IPL. If IPL is the yardstick, then he was easily the best bowler you have. Not only bowls beautifully in the power play, he bowls beautifully in the slot balls. He has got the best economy rate in slot balls. How can you not consider him? He has got a lucky break with Hardik Patel getting injured, so he's got a break. So I think he is going to take his place because the kind of bowler he is, and as you very rightly said, he's a left-hander. You know, on top of that, he's a left-hander. He can be a big asset, and I think he is your next superstar in bowling, and especially in Asia Cup with Bumrah not in the side. I think he will have to bear the burden. Avesh Khan, yes, management is backing him, but he blows hot and cold. He's not very consistent. But for me, if they're going to be two medium pacers, it is going to be Bhuvneshwar Kumar and Arshdeep Singh.
You know, when you put the name of bowlers in that sheet for the World Cup, for the World Cup squad, one of the first names would be Jasprit Bumrah. And I'll tell you the number of T20 internationals Jasprit Bumrah has played this year. 3. That's all. Just 3 T20 internationals, but Jasprit Bumrah is a class apart. And so he will still be penned in as the first name. But, sir, yes, you wanted to add to that.
See, for Asia Cup, there's no Jasprit Bumrah.
Yeah.
There's no Jasprit Bumrah. So we are going to, you know, we are going in Asia Cup with one hand tied behind our back. And playing the first game against Pakistan. So definitely it is a, you know, baptism of fire for somebody like Arshdeep Singh. You know, we are going gaga over his performance. We'll wait and see how well he performs. Because it is a challenge for him. It is something like how Jasprit Bumrah broke into the Indian team and made his place. I think Arshdeep can be the same, can do the same way and same route he can take, because he seems to be a guy who's got a head on the, you know, a very matured head on his shoulders. And he seems to be a guy who really, you know, very expressive with his bowling, and he's not scared of getting a hit. You know, he can come back, he can bounce back, and he's always an asset. And as we both said before, he's a left-hander to the boot, and definitely can be a big plus.
Okay, sir, you were a selector yourself. You look at this squad, you're happy with this squad, and also you do see, of course, most of these, I think 9 out of the 15, I would think, are straight in for the T20 squad.
See, I would say so, but I would, you know, for me, Dinesh, Karthik is still a huge question mark. Whatever people talk about it, and Avesh Khan, 2 names. I don't think it gives you too much confidence, because why wouldn't I go for somebody like Sanju Samson, who's a natural hit, who's a natural striker? You know, I'm not a great fan of the way he plays in IPL, Sanju Samson, but the way he has been playing off the, he seems to be a guy who seems to have matured, learned his lesson, and he's a natural striker. You know, so for that, these are few changes we need to do, and Deepak Hooda has made a place for himself. You know, he was behind the pecking order, but the kind of innings he played, He has been phenomenal, and that is why he's on the side, and he can challenge anybody.
Yeah.
Suryakumar Yadav, we know what he can do or what he has done so far. But the onus lies on Virat Kohli. If India has to win Asia Cup, India has to win World Cup, Virat Kohli will have to fire on all cylinders.
No pressure there on Virat Kohli,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's what we're saying. Thank you so much, Ashok sir. It's always such a pleasure to talk to you, to discuss cricket with you. Thanks once again. That's it then.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's it then on this special. News 9 Sports is what you need to subscribe to for all the latest. We'll be covering the Asia Cup for you. And of course, we're all looking ahead to the big India-Pakistan rivalry, the match that is to be played on 28th of August. News 9 Sports, we're still getting a lot of interviews. Just did a interview with G. Satya, the bronze medalist in table tennis singles at the Commonwealth Games. Do go and watch that if table tennis is something that you follow. That's it from us. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.